test your might. Mortal Kombat! Mortal Kombat!
I watched the Mortal Kombat movie. The new one. That has nothing to do with the video. What was I talking? What was I gonna do? What was the video on again? Transformers? Oh yeah, that's kind of what my channel's all about. What were we talking about? You know, Transformers? Oh, right! Toys, yeah. What else is there to talk about? Literally anything? Ah! Okay, so some new Transformers toys have released recently. You know, I figured I'd talk about them. I've got nothing else to say. That's just what I do at this point. I'm probably gonna do more on my channel as of right now. I wanted to do this. So we've got some stuff to talk about with both Studio Series and Kingdom, as several figures have been released. And before we begin, I do want to say that I do have one Studio Series 86 figure.
Traitor!
This is just really the only one. The Jazz here. It's good. It's really good. But it definitely belongs in like Siege or Earthrise. It definitely feels like it belongs in Earthrise. It's a very good, very accurate figure. Transformation's pretty fun, not gonna lie. Although I am very concerned for the translucent plastic on the windshield, as I'm really hoping that doesn't break, that holds together over time, and the way the chest, you know, transforms, the way the head folds out, it's very kind of finicky, specific. I recommend you check out the Lazy Eyebrow Reviewers video on Studio Series 86 Jazz to kind of get the details of how to do that. That definitely helped me a lot. It's to avoid paint rubbing off on certain parts. Yeah. Overall, my biggest gripe with the figure is the knees don't want to tab in very well, and well, one knee is nice and tight while the other is really loose. You know, so that's my big gripe with it. The big hollow sections in the back of the legs, and the vehicle mode. It's not an officially licensed Porsche. Kind of bothers me a little bit, me personally. I would have preferred that over the more cartoon accurate alt mode that isn't an actual car. I don't know. It's like kind of there, but not even close. It's disappointing, really. But overall, it's a good figure. Probably the best version of G1 Jazz that we have officially. You know, officially, that is. And it's honestly just a really good figure overall. Really nice. I mean, the back is very nice and clean, because that is accurate to the show. And yeah, it's just really good. It's really good. What else is there to say? Alright, now that that's out of the way, now we can move on to the regular Studio Series stuff. Only 3 figures have been released.
3! Take it or leave it!
For like the live action stuff. And I have all 3 of them. And those are the only 3 figures we know of this year. Now, I don't do any of the buzzworthy Bumblebee bullshit. That's a load of crap. The Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Bumblebee is just a slight remold of the 2007 Camaro Bumblebee. You know, the number 49 deluxe figure. They didn't even bother giving him an actual face. They just did the battle mask again. Gave him the Revenge of the Fallen, the little details in car mode that are different, being like the hood and like the front section. Change the stripes to make it a bit more accurate, and the shade of yellow is different. That's basically it. Same gun, same head, same basically everything, and it comes with a little Samuel Wiki. Whoa! Basically, it's not worth your money. It's not worth it at all. But the other three figures that are actually new-ish, I'm here to talk to you about. So here we have the number 70 B-127.
Sorry I'm late. Hit a little traffic.
Which is Bumblebee in a Cybertronian form from the Bumblebee movie, and it is just a repaint, slight remold of Cliffjumper. But I will say, it does look better in yellow, at least to me. This is purely my opinion. I do think it looks a bit better in yellow. Kind of like how the Studio Series Rampage up there, you can't see it, but it's over there. You know, and the Studio Series Skipjack on Devastator here. They're the same mold. Literally, the only difference is color, and I think Skipjack. I think it just looks better in yellow. I prefer Skipjack, and this is a big dude. Devastator is fucking awesome. Big ass dude. All right. But that's really it. That's all it's got going for him. I always like this vehicle mode. It's really cool. Definitely gives me War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron vibes. You know, the video games. Love those. You know, I guess that's sort of foreshadowing what I figure I will be getting in the near future. I guess I could talk about that later. Nah, you'll see. You'll see. It's definitely foreshadowing. I plan on getting a certain figure from, you know, based off of those video games, and I plan on making a video on it. But yeah, it's really nice alt mode. You turn it over, and yeah, you can basically see the robot under there. They're not even trying. But it's pretty nice overall. A nice car mode, nice and good size deluxe car mode. Nice and solid. You know, really solid. Like, I feel like it just really good, really solid. I like it. So I guess we'll just get on to the robot mode. So yeah, robot mode is pretty much just like Cliffjumper, but in yellow. And again, I think it just looks better in yellow. And the sort of gunmetal gray color that it is, I think it just looks better. I mean, and he does come with his blaster, same blaster that the Off-Road Bumblebee and Cliffjumper come with. Same one, looks just as good. You know, here he is with Cliffjumper. As I said, I personally just think it looks better in yellow. You know, the only real difference in molding is the heads, as you can very clearly see. Makes sense. So yeah, and technically Cliffjumper came first. So yeah, that's those two figures. And here he is with the Off-Road Bumblebee, which is what he's based off of. And I just gotta say, this is still the best Bumblebee movie, Bumblebee, which we got in the Studio Series. And I think it was very dumb of Hasbro to base this design of the character off of this figure. I think it's dumb. And also, another dumb thing is that these are two very different yellows. Now, this Off-Road Bumblebee is the same shade of yellow as the Volkswagen Bumblebee, which I got up there. You know, the one from earlier in the Studio Series. Same color, meaning their stuff still works. Like the arm blade that came with the Volkswagen Bumblebee still works on this guy. However, this is a very different shade of yellow from those two. This is a brighter shade of yellow. Meaning that the things won't work. The arm blade won't really look good on this guy because it's a completely different shade. And the heads, you can't really swap them without it looking off. And it sucks because you can swap the heads on these guys, but it just won't look right. Hasbro completely screwed that up, and I was actually really looking forward to doing that. I mean, if you are able to sort of kind of squint maybe, or just kind of look at it from far enough away, you don't really notice it, but look at it closely, you'll notice it, and I definitely do not like it. And I think it's a big problem. And it's very unfortunate, but overall this Bumblebee isn't bad. It's definitely not bad. But it's not terrible. but it's not really good either. I give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah. And just, if you own the Cliffjumper mold, you'll know how much, you know what you're in for with this. It's just that, but yellow. Oh, and I realized something. The reason it probably looks better is because you can see the kind of the gunmetal gray in the torso there, beneath like his chest. That's not colored at all on Cliffjumper. It's all red, same red as that. So there we go. I figured out why it looks a bit better. Yeah, that's Bumblebee. So next figure I want to talk about is I'll do this guy first. The number 72 Voyager class Starscream from the Bumblebee movie.
Decepticons, attack!
Destroy the launch pad. Let none escape.
It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. I mean, this jet mode is really cool. I mean, look at that. Just swoosh. Very accurate to the movie. At least you can tell by the concept art. And, yeah, I'd say it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, you can complain about, like, the kibble here, but I think they did good with what, you know, they had. They had to have it look like this a section down here. So they used the arms, and I think they pulled it off very well. It's very neat. Yeah, the feet are kind of the heels are kind of sticking out here, but it actually isn't that bad. I don't mind it all that much. And it's really just it's a cool jet mode. It's very, very cool. And again, this, much like the B-127 there, it gives me serious War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron vibes. And I love it. I am totally here for this. And I realized I didn't tab this in properly. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely a really good figure. Definitely recommend picking this up. It is really, really cool. And just to note, the cockpit doesn't open. But yeah, it's just super awesome. But it gets even better because the robot mode is really, really good. So here we have the robot mode, and I gotta say, this is one badass looking robot mode. I love this Starscream design. I just love the Bumblebee movie Seeker design, and this just so awesome. Proportionally, it is a little wonky, I will admit, but it's still really good, especially not like that. It looks great. The head sculpt there is some really good Starscream stuff. I always love the way I just love the way the cockpit and everything, kind of how that chest forms. The legs are nice and beefy and chunky. Got nice big old wings and little null rays on there. Get his intake shoulders there, nice. And the back is super clean. This is a freaking ridiculously clean back. I am just genuinely shocked by how good this looks. They really nailed every aspect of this robot mode. It's a really good, really clean robot mode. Articulation's great. Rotation of the head, rotation of the shoulders, arm moves out, you know, elbow joint, the wrist can kind of bend downwards for transformation. You get a little bit of a waist swivel, legs can move forward, backwards, outwards, thigh swivel, really good bend at the knee right there. You know, really crazy ankle pivot, a little bit of up and down, but not much. Overall, it's really well articulated, especially for a Hasbro figure, and for as clean a back as they got, you know, with the transformation, the engineering, they absolutely crushed it. They nailed it. I mean, I'm genuinely blown away by how awesome this figure is. How well articulated and how clean the engineering is. It's really good. He does come with a weapon, which is a gun. His gun. It's actually bigger than Blitzwing's gun, the Voyager Blitzwing gun. It does just plug into his hand, and he looks a little wonky with the gun, but it doesn't look too bad. And I'm going to bring in Blitzwing here for comparison. Yeah, they are very different. Like I originally speculated that the Starscream, you know, that they were gonna make a Starscream. That's why, you know, Blitzwing's transformation was the way it was. they probably didn't actually get the licensing for the jet mode, but they made it so incredibly different, and the way the transformation worked, I was like, oh, okay, this could kind of work for a Seeker design. They probably have to remold several things. You know, that's what I thought. And this is still a really good figure, by the way. But this is so different from this that I have a hard time believing that they are the same figure. Like, I don't think they share any parts at all. No, I don't. I seriously don't think there are any parts shared on these figures. And that's just insane to me. They are so incredibly different. Even engineering, like when you transform Blitzwing, you transform Starscream, these feel like completely separate figures, and I am genuinely blown away. That's really awesome. I'm sorry, it just is. It's really awesome. I love it. This is definitely, both of these are good. I'd say pick up both of them. If you're a fan of the Bumblebee movie, I highly recommend you pick up both of these. My damn hair. Stupid hair. Anyways, definitely recommend picking up both of these. Both of these are great. I give both of these 8.5 out of 10. 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. I think this one's better, to be honest. Starscream, better. I like the colors. The colors are nice, bright, and appealing. Love it. This is such a good figure. Highly recommend both of these. Fucking incredible. So we got another figure to talk about in Studio Series. One more, and then we'll get to the 2 Kingdom figures that come out recently. Here we have number 71, Deluxe Class Dino.
On the ground, per favore, and stay there. Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
And first thing you'll notice is the car. It's wrong. He's not a Ferrari Italia. You know, a Ferrari 458 Italia. You know? He's not. And I know a lot of people are going to be confused and like, well, did Hasbro just not give a shit? Did Hasbro not care about the licensing? I don't think so. Because, here's the thing. Shout out to a friend of mine who also has his own YouTube channel. You can check it out right here. His name is Logan. He is a car nut. He is obsessed with cars the way I am obsessed with Transformers. And he claims that, and basically according to him, and I'm sure plenty of other people, that Ferrari as a company, super greedy. And the founder of the company, Enzo Ferrari, was apparently a dick. And that's why the company Lamborghini was made, because Enzo Ferrari was a dick. So I wouldn't be surprised if, the company, Ferrari, was just too greedy. They were just really greedy, and they could not come up with an agreement. Hasbro and Ferrari could not come up with an agreement for licensing because Ferrari was just so damn greedy. They probably wanted more money than, what was reasonable. That makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, we get this car mode, and I've heard some people say it's accurate to the Dark of the Moon video game. It has been a while since I played that game, so I'm probably going to have to replay it and kind of look at the vehicle mode, but it's still a damn good vehicle mode. It could kind of work as a Ferrari, but I don't know, it's still pretty good. You can definitely see the robot under there, but it's pretty well done. And overall, I think it's a really nice figure, especially when you get the vehicle mode next to all your other Dark of the Moon figures. It looks spectacular. Like all your other Dark of the Moon Autobots. Here's a picture of that. Spectacular. Really good job, Hasbro. And it just looks great in group shots. But yeah, that's the vehicle mode. The vehicle mode is really nice, and even if it's not an actual Ferrari, it's still a nice old mode. So the robot mode is pretty dang good, so I'll get to that. Alright, so here we have Dino in his robot mode, and this is a good robot mode. This is a really good robot mode. Very accurate to the film. Really love it. He does have his arm blades. These are separate pieces you can plug in there. Really nice. The doors they're a little big, but I don't mind. That head sculpt is just mwah. The chest design, even the collars here, everything's really great. Yeah, he does have a lot of back kibble, and you can kind of see it through the front. I'm not really upset about that. This design is very difficult to nail down, and I think they really did a good job with it. It doesn't look too bad. a lot of the promotional images made it look a lot worse.
No, 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 no.
Hasbro has a tendency to do that. They have a tendency to make anything that isn't G1 look like shit. So, it is what it is. Articulation's pretty nice. Ball jointed head. Collars can like even move up and down. Ball jointed shoulder. Rotation at the bicep. Double bend at the elbow. Rotation at the wrist, which is nice. Ball jointed hips. Rotation at the knee. Bend at the knee. Upper ankle movement. You know, it's pretty good. It's not the greatest, but you can kind of get him into the whole kind of mode where he has like the arm blades. You know, let's say I'm gonna get him into the pose. This pose. You can get him into that. It looks really good. You know, and he looks great in some low quality group shots. Yeah, I know. I need better. I need better lighting in here. I know, it's crazy. Overall, it's just a really, really good figure. I mean, and I'm genuinely surprised that they're in stores right now, because on Hasbro Pulse it says it's not supposed to come out until July. Really glad I didn't have to wait that long, because I was really excited for this figure, which so far is the only Bayformers figure to be revealed and released this year. We have nothing else. Like, what I basically just covered right now is all the live action stuff, like live action film stuff that we've got and that we know about this year. That's it. We just had like the Hasbro Pulse Fan First Friday thing, and just like they like talked about a bunch of Kingdom stuff. And there's even the reveal of a Studio Series 86 Slag, and I'm like, where's the live action stuff? You know, where's Bayformers, Bumblebee movie? Where's that stuff?
Where's the lamb sauce?
Come on, man.
Where's the lamb sauce?
It's like, come on, guys, come on. Everyone's like, you'll get your figure toys eventually. No, better reveal that shit now. You've had quite a while to work on it. Show us your work. Okay? If we have to wait another fucking year to see something for the live action films, we're gonna be pissed. But Dino's cool. I like him. 7.5 out of 10. He's pretty good. Not the greatest figure, but still recommend picking him up. So, that was the Studio Series stuff. Now, of course, we're back to Kingdom, which I will say, I do know about the reveals. The Arc, Titan Class Arc, looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't. Tracks, looks pretty neat. May or may not get him. Winged Finger, the fossilizer. I don't like the fossilizers. I think they're dumb. This one definitely looks like the worst one, because it does not look like it's meant to be $20. It can just go fuck itself. Core Class Soundwave actually looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. I might end up getting it. You know, that green vertebrae repaint that's supposed to be the Core Class figure can go fuck itself. Deluxe Class Scorponok. I don't think it looks that bad, but we'll see. We'll see. It might look better in hand, but all I know is it does look a little derpy. It does look a little weird. Voyager Class Rhinox looks great, except for the head. The head is just all sorts of wrong. I'm not happy about that. Hopefully Hasbro goes back to fix it. Otherwise, we're gonna be stuck with an inaccurate Rhinox head. Maybe a third-party company that makes upgrade kits will give him a proper head. Who knows? You know, a more show-accurate head. We got some Kingdom figures to talk about, and that's where Airazor here comes into play. The Kingdom Deluxe Class Airazor.
Airazor. Maximize!
And this is actually a really good figure. I'm genuinely surprised at how good this thing is. It's crazy. First of all, those wings are absolutely awesome. There's spectacular head sculpt, beast mode head sculpt. Very nice. Yeah, you get a screw on that side. I'm not a fan of that. Overall, it's really nice. Yeah, you get robot on the underside. That's just gonna happen. It's a Hasbro Deluxe. You know, it's a robot that turns into a bird. And with the way the character transforms, this is gonna happen. Masterpiece figure would probably pull this off way better, but there's still probably gonna be kibble on it. This is just gonna happen. There's gonna be kibble. And that's just the sad reality of it. But even then, it still looks pretty good. Nice talons with legs there. And it actually it's a really nice bird mode. It's just a really nice bird mode. And the wings are very nice articulated. Got like a hinge joint here, you know, 2 more hinge joints, and 3rd hinge joint. You get a lot of hinge joints, and you get this part that can swing down. Pretty dang nice, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's just a really, really good bird mode. I mean, this is the first, you know, the first updated Airazor figure since, you know, the original. Like, the only other Airazor figure we have is the original Beast Wars Airazor. So, you know, it's nice to finally get, you know, an updated figure for this character, and they did a really good job, especially when we get into the robot mode.
Beast Wars!
This robot mode it's spectacular. I mean, this is damn near a spitting image of the character from the show. I mean, this is great. That head sculpt is magnificent. Looks absolutely spectacular from all angles. Robot mode is great. Yeah, the back has the big old wings on it, which isn't accurate to the show, but the way the show did it is impossible. Overall, it's just a really great figure. Got your typical, you know, Siege or Thrice Kingdom articulation, so I'm not really going to go over that. It has a good weapon. She gets 2 of these little missile things that can plug into her arms. Really nice weapons. Really nice reference to the little missiles that come out of that she shoots out of her arms in the show. That's really her weapons. She doesn't have any like handheld guns or melee weapons, but she just has, you know, these little missiles on her arms, and that's just really cool. I really like it. The character just looks phenomenal, and especially when you get the wings laid out in robot mode, it just looks spectacular. I love getting her in like some flight poses. Too bad I don't have a flight stand for Transformers figures. I should really get that. Just check this out. This is just some next level stuff right here. I mean, this is just wow. That's just incredible. I love it. I mean, I'm also very excited to see them do a Voyager class Tigatron, which is confirmed. That'll look great with Airazor here. I'm very excited for when that comes out and that's revealed. We get, you know, side by side for that, and yeah, overall it's just an amazing figure. I give this thing an 8 out of 10. This is amazing, especially as a deluxe class figure. For $20, you are definitely getting the bang for your buck here. This is spectacular. If you are a Beast Wars fan and you especially kind of like Airazor, or at least her design, definitely pick this up. Highly recommend it. This is definitely the Airazor figure that we all would love to have, like as Beast Wars fans. As a deluxe class figure, you know, just simple Hasbro stuff that's a bit more affordable. This is the way to go, especially since there's no Masterpiece Airazor as of right now, which they should because there's a Masterpiece Tigatron. They should really go for it. This is awesome. 8 out of 10. Highly recommend it. And now we move on. Voyager class Dinobot.
Dinobot, maximize!
Can't wait to rip into this thing. As much as I love this thing, there are so many problems with it. First of all, the Super Kibble Dino mode. It's Kibble City. I mean, it's crazy. But I'm not mad. The only real bit of kibble I'm mad about are the, you know, thighs and hips here at the front of the chest section. A little upset about that. Wish there was like some sort of like panel or something that could come down and cover it all up. A little upset by that, but that's okay. Really what bothers me the most about this Dino mode is the articulation. It sucks. This thing is basically just a brick. You're not gonna get this in any pose other than that. It sucks. I mean, the head can't even rotate. The mouth can open up, and the head can look down like that through transformation only. You know, I get that. Arms can rotate. They can move outward. You know, bend at the elbow. Ball joint at the sort of wrist thing with his wonky ass fingers. These may be more realistic for a realistic, you know, a Velociraptor, but they look like shit. Nothing really at the hips except you can kind of bring these out in these transformation joints, but then it just looks weird. It doesn't have the ankle pivots to actually properly use that. You do get bend at the knee in both ways. Wrist, ankle swivel up and down. You know, and the toes can move, but that's because they're the Dino mode hands. And then like nothing at the tail. No, that's just it. Nothing at the tail. I thought I mentioned these kind of hip sections since these do kind of split open as kind of panels. They do not tab together very well in a beast mode. Not too happy about that, but whatever, it's not the worst case. Tail looks pretty nice until you get to the end here. The blade of the sword is poking out the end. What? Why? But yes, we all know what his tail does. It splits up. Yeah, it splits open. We all know what it does. It has the sword inside. But the sword isn't supposed to be sticking out the end. Now I can't close this. What the fuck? The sword's not supposed to be sticking out the end of the tail. What the fuck? This Dino mode's a mess. The best I can say is the head sculpt is really nice. The texturing is really nice, and it doesn't look that bad. But jeez, this is just a weak beast mode, especially when we have Kingdom Megatron. We have Kingdom Megatron. I know it's a leader class figure, but still I gotta say it. We have a Kingdom Megatron who is he has one of the best, the most articulated beast modes I've ever seen, especially one that's as natural and organic looking as his. If you want to check that out, go check out my Kingdom video if you like. Go ahead. If you like, go ahead and do that. But my god, it's just that figure was so well articulated, and I feel like with Dinobot they could have done at least a little bit better than this. Maybe not top Megatron's articulation, but at least do better than Brick. It's just, god damn, what a waste, right? Whatever. The robot mode is better, but there's still problems, so we'll get into that.
Dinobot, maximize!
So here we have the robot mode for Kingdom Dinobot, and I mean, it's a good robot mode, don't get me wrong. The transformation was very fun and very interesting. I liked it. The head sculpt is incredible. It is the best version of Dinobot that Hasbro has given us, at least at a good price point. There is the Takara Masterpiece version, which I actually might get because I'm a Dinobot fan. I really like the character, and this definitely doesn't give me the Dinobot. This isn't the perfect Dinobot, and I feel like I need that, especially with as good a character as Dinobot was. The figure's great. He has the basic Siege Earthrise Kingdom articulation, so no need to go over that. It's pretty good. In some photos, it looked like the arms were really thin and lanky. The hands being super huge. The arms, in person, are just as big as they need to be. But the hands are a little too big, to be honest, yeah. Other than that, that's pretty dang good. A lot of the joints are really tight on this guy. Get the waist. The waist kind of... It wobbles a lot. I don't know why. It wasn't when I got it out of the box and I held it, I did give it a little bit of a shake because I do have a friend who owned this before I did. Yeah, he owns a copy of Dinobot. He owned it before I owned my copy. When I got it out of the box, I shook it. It didn't shake until I rotated it at first, and then it began to shake. I don't know what that's all about, but it's not too bad. We do know how his tail and sword work. It opens up for the whole rotor shield thing, plug it into his hand, get the sword right here, and his rotor shield. I think the old Beast Wars commercials, toy commercials, called it Velocirotor blades.
With spinning Velocirotor blades.
That's pretty cool. It doesn't spin or anything, but it just kind of plugs into his hand, and the hands are still kind of have to be open, just a little open, just due to the molding, but whatever. But the sword, for some reason, it's purple. The fuck? Why is it purple? Why? The sword looks better than plugged into his hand, but it's purple for some. Why is it purple? It would look so much better if it was silver. They have the silver. They paint Optimus Primal swords in silver. Why is this purple? It's like with the Last Night Voyager Optimus Prime. It's up there. They made his shield freaking bright big blue, and they made his sword fucking orange. The shield might look kind of cool, like, oh, Energon shield or whatever. Maybe that's not what it was in the film. It could look cool, but the sword is just orange for some reason, and it looks terrible. What is Hasbro's obsession with making weapons on Transformers figures look like shit by giving them these, weird, wonky colors? And really, they can just make normal-looking weapons normal colored weapons that are actually good. They look good. They don't need to be bright and colorful all the time. The weapon, not every figure needs to be like that. You can make something look good, but with just the paintwork, just one simple color. Don't even have to add weathering to it or anything. One simple color. The Takara Masterpiece Dinobot couldn't even get this right. Their Dinobot sword was cast in a chrome hot pink. It's a shade of chrome hot pink. It looks decent on camera because it's chrome, of course. It's kind of look a little silver. Excuse me. But like, it still looks terrible. Whose bright idea is it to give Dinobot shitty looking swords? Alright, last thing to complain about. The chest. I hated this thing the moment I saw it. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. But oh my god, it's terrible. I'm sorry. Okay, I can't hold it in. Why did Hasbro do this? It looks like it's segmented in 3 parts. Because it is. See, Hasbro did this thing where they didn't use faux parts. Faux parts are basically I don't have a figure to use sort of represent it, but basically it's when a figure has 2 parts for the 2 different modes, like Optimus Prime's grill. There's the grill that you see in truck mode and the grill that you see in robot mode. They look very different in each mode, at least to the source material, the animation model, all that stuff, artwork. So they have 2 separate pieces for the grills. You have the one for the robot mode and the one for the vehicle mode. In the vehicle mode, the robot mode grill is hidden away, while the vehicle mode grill is front and center. And vice versa for the robot mode. In the robot mode, the vehicle mode grill is tucked away, whereas the robot mode grill is front and center. Because they look so different, and the design warps in a way that makes it impossible for the plastic to sort of form that shape. And that's the same thing that happened with Dinobot. The Velociraptor head basically flattened out onto his chest in the show. That's how it was. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, I expect perfection from Hasbro figure. No, especially with the way the animation model was. Look at this shit. You expect Hasbro to make a great figure, masterpiece worthy figure out of that? No. But we have a masterpiece figure, and it handled this perfectly. The chest for robot mode was 1 piece. And the Dino mode head, the beast mode head, tucked away into the torso. That's how they did it on the masterpiece version. So why the fuck is this not taking after that? It's simple, because for some reason, professional toy critics are basically going around being a bunch of Takara bootlickers, making excuses for Takara, masterpiece figures being shit, and basically making it okay, saying it's okay for them to use faux parts, even if, the real one is fucking right there on the back. On literally the other side, MP44, the windshield sections, that open up, you twist them around for the different modes. Literally, the 2 different shaped windshields are on both sides of the same piece. You just twist it around. And nobody's complaining. The new Masterpiece Bumblebee literally has the fake chest on it. Fake chest for robot mode, yeah. But the real one is right on his back. So they make excuses, but nobody complains. But when Hasbro does stuff like that, when they use faux parts, there's outrage. What the fuck happened? Usually people were more accepting of Hasbro not having the greater quality. And then, there was outrage when Masterpiece was lower quality than what it set out to be. But now it's the complete opposite. And there's outrage if Hasbro figures are less than perfect, but there's excuses when Masterpiece figures are shit. I don't get it. In the end, even with all my complaints, I still like this. I still love it. It's amazing. This is the best version of Dinobot that you can get for an affordable price, because Masterpiece is way too expensive. And I'm okay with that. This is still a good figure, even with all of its flaws. So, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Go pick it up, I'd say. Especially if you're a Beast Wars fan, I think you definitely should. This Dinobot, it's a good Dinobot. Me, I'm not going to be saving it for the Masterpiece Dinobot just yet, but Maybe sometime in the future. Who knows? If I do, maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll do a review of it. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Who knows? All I know is that Hasbro should definitely work on their stuff. You need really put more live action movie stuff out there in studio series, and should really give us more Beast Wars stuff in Kingdom. Kind of push G1 a little bit to the side to make way for other stuff, because we could use more new stuff for other Transformers series. Like, we really do need an Armada toy line. I think that is the show that, like the toy line, that needs an update the most. There were some cool designs in Armada, and the toys failed miserably to replicate, give us, plastic versions of those designs. So with modern engineering that's kind of ditching the gimmicks, that would be great. That would be spectacular, especially if the Minicon can plug into their arm or whatever, but it doesn't really do anything. That's okay. You don't need spring-loaded gimmicks fucking everywhere. It's fine. We can do that. Then I'd say do Transformers animated, because those designs are really cool. I feel like a lot of modern engineering can make those just make some fantastic figures. And especially if we actually focus on scale. That is another thing that we need to focus on with animated, because scale was in that toy was freaking all over the place. And then, of course, after that, we should do a new Transformers Prime. Alright? We need... Transformers Prime is good, had a lot of cool designs. We should totally do that. And I say we do the video games War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. Those would be some great figures. Hasbro's really putting... Hasbro really did those, those designs dirty with the figures that they did. Sorry, I can't speak. Right now, there's only one third-party company that's actually making those designs, and actually making them good, and that's Planet X. They're pretty good. I wouldn't, at least from what I can see, and what I will know soon. So, yeah. SS-86 Jazz, pretty good. B-127, Dino, Starscream, really good. Airazor, awesome. Dinobot, still pretty good. Overall, some good stuff that came out this year. We'll admit, some pretty good stuff. However, still needs some work. So, that's it for the video. Hope you liked, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.